In the next section of the DVD, we're going to look at arm rigs. Arm rigs can be done in many different ways. There's just a straightforward FK arm. We can do IK, FK switching arms, auto clavicle setups, arm twisting solutions, or all of the above really, all mixed together. For this intermediate series, I want to concentrate on the biggest problem that you see with rigging an arm and shoulder area in 3D. And that's crushing of the mesh as the arm twists and goes through its complex set of motions. Starting with the forearm in the human body is actually set up with an ulna and radius bone, so two bones laying parallel to one another. And when the wrist rotates along its length, it actually twists these bones. Because we have muscles and skin that slide over top of muscles, we get a twisting action in our forearm. Without getting into complex muscle setups and skin sliding solutions with plugins and whatnot, just to try and get a straight character to be able to rotate its hand over in an animation without twisting and butterflying the forearm into a pretzel, we need to come up with a solution that is fast to set up and will work well with straight skinning. In this case, what I've done is I've actually taken multiple bones in the forearm and I've set them to twist a little bit. What I'm going to do now is just turn off the modeling I've done on the bones, and you can see the bone setup as it works. This is the regular IK setup for the arm, and then there are these twist bones that are added in. These twist bones, you can see, do a little bit of twisting action, but the original arm bone doesn't do any at all. And just turning them back on here again, the next problem is the upper arm. The upper arm, if you place your finger on top of your shoulder on your upper arm bone and then rotate your upper arm bone along the x-axis of what a bone would be, you'll actually notice that the bones on your arm, the muscles in your arms there, don't move and twist with the bones much. They actually stay quite still near the top. That means that the shoulder area actually only needs to rotate around two axes. It doesn't need to do a twist right at the shoulder. And that's right up in this area. So if we add twist bones in the upper arm, we can get a similar effect again, where we can soften the deformation here. It doesn't have to deal with a twisting around this joint, because the first bone in the system doesn't do any twisting at all. The second one twists 50%, and then the original arm bone handles the full amount of twist down by the elbow. This means we're going to get a lot less problems when we're trying to skin this area. You'll be able to twist your arm and raise it above your head without this just becoming flattened like a pancake. You then need a clavicle control for raising your clavicle, so it's impossible to actually raise your hand like this. And unfortunately, I see a lot of beginner animators doing this. You actually have to raise your clavicle to be able to do that. So once again, you can actually limit how the skinning needs to take place there, knowing that there's a limitation on what the joints can actually do in the human body. The arm twisting is going to solve a lot of our issues and problems, though, in this next section. All of these point helpers are just going to prove to get in my way at this point, so I'm going to select them all, filter, and hide the selection. I almost always build my arm bones in the top viewport because I can see about where everything is. I also want to keep the bone system laying flat. You'll see why in a minute. So create system